Spencer Lazara, MMAinterviews.tv. I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Simon Marcus, one of the best Muay Thai fighters on the planet. He fights this Friday night, Lion Fights, on Access TV, live and direct. You can catch him against Artem Levin. Obviously, a big fight, a fight that was meant to happen a few times. Your excitement must be peaking at this point.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm just trying to concentrate on the fight, not think too much about it. I'm very excited to be getting an opportunity and ready to be that number one.
There was a lot of talk prior to the fights with Joe and, back and forth. I know you were quite motivated for those fights. But talk about the difference for this one. Something that I'm sure there's not much talk, but like you said, that number one slot is on the line. Does it mean more?
It absolutely means more, but at the same time, every step of the way leads you to here. So at the time, Joe was the number one priority, and right now this is number one priority. Getting here, you want to push extra. You want to be just as at the top level as you can. So it's a little bit extra, but at the same time, every fight leading up means just as much. So
how was the weight cut for you?
Weight cut's good. Weight cut's good. Good training. I didn't have to cut too much, maybe just like 10 pounds and just slowly, and a little bit more to go. No problem.
Talk about the matchup with Artem and where you feel like your skills and advantages lie.
Artem's a very good fighter, skilled fighter. My advantages is just Muay Thai, I have every weapon to use. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a hard fight, and I'm just going to fight him and beat him that way,
Do you feel like your traditional style is something you represent in this fight against a guy like him who's a little more new school, a little more movement, a little more different techniques?
Absolutely. I come from a gym where it's very traditional. We stick with the basics of Muay Thai, but just like in any sport, the basics are your foundation and they always work. So if you know to apply them correctly, it doesn't matter who the opponent is, I'll be able to execute my game plan, which is just hit the openings.
Is your biggest advantage, though, in that clinch? Do you feel like that's where you're most comfortable in this fight?
No. To be honest, I'm ready to fight anywhere the fight is. If it's in the clinch, I'm going to be fighting. If we're standing toe-to-toe, I'm going to be fighting. So I'm just ready for anything.
Talk about the growth of Muay Thai and how exciting that is. I mean, we're on a big stage here. You're going to be potentially 1 million viewers here on Access TV, here in the States, Canada. Just talk about that.
It's amazing because everybody loves the sport when they see it. You see two guys with beautiful techniques stand up and display on art. At the same time, it's a war, it's a battle, it's brutal. Some call it the brutal ballet. So it's very attractive and it's growing rapidly and getting more popular. So I hope it continues to grow and people support the sport and the culture.
You watch much MMA, and it seems like a lot of fans that aren't so knowledgeable about it don't, tend to boo when the fight's on the ground. Are you surprised that Muay Thai hasn't caught on faster here in the States?
It is a little bit surprising because I do watch MMA, not too much, but a little bit. And I would say that 90 or 80% of the people I know who like MMA, their favorite part is the standing up. And when you get two really good guys, you can see a good matchup anywhere the fight is, but sometimes it gets really boring or not as exciting when they're on the ground. But I think that's going to change. I think people are catching on to Muay Thai and keeping their eyes open.
Talk about your start in Muay Thai and when you really grew into a passion for you.
I started Muay Thai the first time I was 16. I just tried it out. I had a history of fighting. I always liked to fight, Used to watch wrestling as a kid and stuff like that. So when I tried it, the workout was crazy. I've always been an athlete, and I thought if I continued, I'd be stronger than I've ever been, and I'd learn how to fight at the same time. Of course, being at that age, I was doing other things, going partying, playing basketball, so I got in a bit of trouble, and then when I was 18, I decided to really take it seriously, and I didn't look back since then.
If a big money fight came along, let's say you were offered a big money fight, would you consider training some MMA and going over in that route? Considering the money in MMA seems to be growing a little bit better than Muay Thai.
Right. It's a difficult question to answer. I mean, personally, I don't really fight for money. It's good to get paid for what you do, but I fight because I love the art, and it's what I love to do. So, I mean, I feel like I could do well in any form of fighting because that's just how I am, So doors are open, but it's not really something I've thought about too much.
Yeah. Sure, you lick your chops sometimes watching some of these stand-up fighters in MMA, though.
For sure. Sometimes I watch MMA and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised, at some of the skill level on the stand-up end of it. Yeah.
What about Anderson Silva? Any thoughts on him? He seems like obviously one of the better strikers in MMA.
He's a very good fighter. I mean, technical all around. I think he's just a martial artist in general, and he'd be a good fighter regardless of what he's doing.
Great, man. Anything else you want to say? People you want to thank? Talk about your preparation and whatnot.
Really, I just want to thank everybody who supported me for this fight. I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity and giving me the strength. And my whole family, all my friends, all the Muay Thai community who's been supporting Muay Thai. And I look forward to representing what Muay Thai is and taking home that #1 spot.
Definitely can't wait to see it. I'm watching this man hit pads and I'm just smiling from it. So Friday night, be sure to check it out. Lion Fights live on AXS TV.